Welcome back to my channel. It's Kayla. Thank you for tuning in. Before we get started, please like, subscribe, comment on this video after or before you're done watching it. This is before pictures of my tatas before I got blessed, okay? In this video, I'll be having my surgeon and my financial advisor answer questions for you guys. If you have any more questions or concerns, please comment below. Okay, yeah, I almost crashed trying to record. I gotta get used to this, but good morning. I'm on my way to my pre-op. So excited. My first appointment. I think I have 2 more or probably 1 more fitting before I actually have my surgery, which is on the 24th. So on the 10th will make 2 weeks before my surgery. Today is the 9th. So we're almost there. Like I said, this is my pre-op. I'm going to be asking him a couple of questions. I'm going to be asking him about a couple of questions that I see in the pamphlet that I have. I think I underlined or probably highlighted some things that I had questions about. But if I didn't, I will still go through it with him. And then I want to get sides one more time just to make sure I'm not going too big. I don't want the girls too big, but I want them there, okay? I'm not laying down just to be getting no little... I need to get up like, you know, oh, what's that, okay? So, that's what I'm on the way to do is my pre-op, and I'm just so excited. Right now, and the GPS says 9:22. My appointment is at 9:15, but I already told her that I will be a little late, and she said it's fine. That's another thing. I am working on my time management, y'all. Look at this car going so slow, and it pissed me off. I'm working on my time management, so yeah, I tried to get there on time, but at least I tried, so I will have to try again another day because I'm still late. Only 5 minutes, I mean about 5-6 minutes, so that's not too bad, but see ya.
Alright, let's put it on through here, and on through here. Good, there you go. Now go ahead and put that on the tightest setting. So Chris, what did you, all right. What we decided, yes, this is a 275.
So yeah, I think 275 will be okay. What do you think for my body frame?
I think you can handle it. Well, if you're showing me a picture that's got a pretty good sized breast on it.
Yeah, I don't want them to be too small.
Yeah, so I'm pushing you to, what is the, she's 11? What is that, a 225?
200.
200, can I just double check that? Let me see something. You don't want to go too big because you're petite.
Yeah, I really don't. But maybe it's just the way that I'm looking at them.
Come on over here. Stand straight, good posture.
Yeah.
Can I see a 225?
Mm-hmm. So what bra size is the 475 to 32?
Well, you're a 32, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, so it's going to put you into a 32 full C, small D.
Okay.
All right, so this is a 225. This is pushing her a little bit. But let me see the book. So
I mean, here's the other alternative. I don't know about this.
225. She's wait a minute. 220 is 11.0. So she's close to like 11-ish. And right now we have a high profile.
It's the extra. What's the extra?
So we have a high smooth round high
300.
High 300. That's 11.1. That's perfect. We could go 325. That's pushing it a little bit because it's 11.4. But you're saying a high extra?
Look at the high extra.
Smooth around high extra.
11.
Yeah, 380. 380?
No, high extra. Is it
355?
Yeah. I even think. Let me see how
Let's close that bra up again.
I do. I have high profile extra.
Oh, perfect. All right, so here's what we want to do is, well, before you do that, it's a goofy way of trying to see, but if this was inside of you, do you think that would be too big? Now, see how this is kind of round and bigger?
Mm.
Do you like it or no?
No, I'm not doing so much around this.
Well, it's not going to be quite as round when it's inside of you.
Yeah, it'll look different.
But what about the volume? Too big, too small, just right?
Yeah, just a little too big.
A little bit too big. Yeah, let's just stick with what we have.
300?
I think the 300 on her because she's short. She's petite, and I think the 300 is going to be fine. Besides, the 275 she said was fine. And the 300.
Can I see the 300?
Yeah, where's the 300 high?
I didn't pull it out.
Okay. This is a 300 high. This is what we chose last time. I think it's going to be too big, right? All right, toward the mirror.
Put that in a field like a 275.
This is just like the first one, but a little bit wider.
Yeah.
See?
And when it's inside, do you think it'll make my shoulders look wider?
What?
If it's when it's inside, do you think it will make my shoulders look wider, or it'll still keep me like looking
Close
small?
and wider? No.
Okay.
That's going to look good on you. Is it too small?
Nope, I'm looking at this small.
Yeah, okay. Chris, let's stick with that. I like that.
Yeah, perfect.
I think that's perfect on you. Perfect everything. Okay?
About the same thing.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be too big. I do want to be big, but I don't want to be too big.
All right. What questions do you have for me? Do you take any prescription medicines?
Like spironolactone, spironolactone, all my kids want to know, right?
Spironolactone? For your
For my
skin?
face, yes.
Okay.
And that's it for now.
Okay, so
Except I ibuprofen.
Okay, so 10 days prior to surgery, that whole family of non-steroidals, ibuprofen, Motrin, naproxen, Aleve, Celebrex, none of that.
Okay.
No vitamins, no supplements.
Okay, cool.
Okay? No aspirin. So if you have a headache, you take Tylenol only.
Okay.
So we're going to give you prescriptions. Chris is going to photograph you. Angel will finish up with you.
Okay, and I did have one more question. I was looking on some website and it said something about like the gel bleeding. And the lady, the girl was throwing up the silicone. Have you ever heard about that happening before?
She was what?
I think she had a rupture and the silicone gel was started to bleeding, or it was something in my pamphlet, but I didn't bring the pamphlet. But I can probably just bring it the next time. I can show you. But it said something about bleeding inside the pamphlet.
If this implant were to break, okay, if the implant were to break, remember the gel is cohesive, so it sticks to itself. So it's not going to travel.
Okay.
Also, your body within days and weeks is going to form a capsule, a dense scar around the implant. So even if the implant has a tear in it or the gel's exposed, your scar tissue has completely walled it off. Okay, so no, it should not travel at all.
Alright, that's all the questions I had. Well, that's not all the questions I had, but I didn't bring the pamphlet, so you want to have another appointment to where I have to a chance to ask questions, right? Or would this be the last one?
This is, I think, your last
This
one.
was the last one.
Okay, well, I
Yeah, but that's okay. Look
But
through,
you can-
look
yeah,
through
you
the,
can-
look
yeah.
through the pamphlet. You can
Okay.
always come back.
Yeah,
I
and
did highlight some stuff. but I just
Absolutely.
forgot.
Yeah, highlight whatever you want, come back and we'll talk about it. Or just
Okay.
call us or call Chris or call Angel
Okay,
and we
will
can
do.
go over it with you.
Alright. Sounds
Okay, but we
good.
want you to have all your questions answered beforehand.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that'll go.
Okay?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Yeah, we're going to finish up with you and then Angel will come and get you, so you wait here.
Okay.
All right,
Is
it was
there
good
anything,
seeing you.
I'm sorry, one more question. Is there anything that I can do to like make sure my respiratory system is like in great shape, like for these 2 weeks before?
You don't smoke, do you?
Yeah, I do, but I stopped.
How much do you smoke?
I stopped for a month, but this weekend I was going out a lot and I smoked every day this weekend.
Yeah, just don't smoke.
Okay.
Okay? All right. All right, we'll see you soon. We'll take
Thank
good care of
you.
you.
I'm gonna have you come here, and then we'll just do a couple photos. You can take that bra off.
Tried to record for y'all and I did. So yeah, I'm gonna come back and ask more questions. And here's the office. Of course, I'll be doing like a Q&A or more information about the surgery center that I chose. I'm so excited. And I'm going to come back to ask more questions. So I'm going to set up another consultation so that I can just make sure that everything is right. I'm going to go through my pamphlet. I forgot to bring my pamphlet that I highlighted and underlined stuff in. So I will be bringing that back when I set my next consultation, which will probably be a week from now because 2 weeks is tomorrow. So like he said, like y'all heard, I cannot smoke anymore, which is not a problem. I did stop for like a month. And then I started back because I went out this weekend and I was turning the up. So yeah. See, it's already, we already, you know, envisioned. So yeah. Next they're gonna send me back to the financial lady. Back. Bye. Maybe I'll record when I talk to Angel. We'll see. So right now I'm going over the paperwork and everything with Angel. So I'm gonna record. I think it's money train.
You want to make sure that you show up to the surgery center, take your jewelry off. So take your nose your stud out. Yep. Make sure if you wear contacts, you leave them out. Wear your glasses. So no jewelry, no makeup. Wear something comfortable.
Okay.
And I advise wearing something that zips up or buttons up because doing like this after breast surgery is not that comfortable. Okay. You do have to fast after midnight the night before. Your arrival time. You think I'm going to the wrong book, but you are here. Goodness gracious. Your arrival time is 1 p.m. and your surgery time starts at 2:30 p.m. Okay.
So may I ask why they say no herbal?
Some of those things, like we talked about, some of those things disrupt the blood flow.
Okay.
And you don't want anything that's going to disrupt the blood flow.
Okay. So no tea.
Some of the tea. So let me show you where the list is.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just do a lot of herbal stuff.
You go through this list and it breaks it down by aspirin base, ibuprofen. There's some over-the-counter meds. There's your herbal supplements. So these are the things
these are the only ones.
That's the only ones.
Okay, so
everything else is fine.
Okay.
So anything else that if you want to take something, make sure it's not on the list.
Okay.
If you don't see it listed on the list, then you're in good shape.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tylenol is always a safe bet, so you're good with Tylenol.
I don't really like medicine. I'm more of the herbal, so I just want to make sure
Perfect.
ginger and
Good deal.
cayenne pepper.
Okay.
And stuff like that.
So this will stay with you. Like I said, that's your
Number to
billing
call.
statement. I mean your billing office number. This is where you're going to show up at your 1 p.m. arrival.
Okay.
That's directions from almost any location in Atlanta.
Okay. Is that at Emory Hospital or is
No,
that?
this is at Perimeter Surgery Center.
Okay.
Okay, and that's the specific address. You should have gotten an email and a prompt to do your One Medical Passport, which is like your pre-registration for the surgery center. Have you received that yet?
If I did, I probably overlooked it. But
Okay,
I don't
that's
know
the link to go to do
Okay.
it directly. But try to do that before. That'll save you some time that morning. Okay. And then you've got phone numbers back here. This page has all fax, phone numbers, web addresses, anything that you might need for the surgery center. Okay. So hang on to that. That goes with you as well. You are under an hour and a half surgery time, so you don't have to get COVID tested.
Okay.
Which is good news for everybody.
Yes.
This is your photo consent. Chris takes your pictures for your file, but we do ask that you allow us to show your before and after photos for patients that are thinking about having the same surgery. We use some of them on the web, we use some of them in the office. If you're okay with it, you'll circle yes and sign and date right there for me.
Yes, and another thing for the last appointment, he said that you would be able to show me pictures that would be similar to the size that I'm getting that you guys have done.
Let's see. What size are you going with?
I believe it's a 300.
So when you can go on the website, all of our photos, well, the majority of our photos are on the web. Let me show you where you can find them. We're going to go through your consents real quick. So now your consents, we're going to go through them together, and you're going to initial the bottom of each page, and there's some pages we sign together. First 2 pages are general surgical risk and symptoms. Doesn't matter what you're having done, just what you can expect going into the OR. Then we get into the specifics of your surgery, okay? So we talked about swelling and bruising. Get some arnica. That will help.
Okay.
They're going to be high and they're going to be swollen.
Okay.
So, and then after about 2 weeks, they settle down and they relax into that capsule, okay? For your discomfort and pain, we're going to send you home with a couple of different medications. None of these have to be taken before surgery. They do not have to be taken to the surgery center.
Okay.
But I do recommend you fill all of them and have them at home when you get there. So you've got everything that you need, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be your Zofran. That's for nausea after general anesthesia. If you're not feeling well or you're feeling a little nauseous. Lortab is for your pain. This is going to be your Flexeril. That's going to be your muscle relaxer.
Mm-hmm.
This is the only medication you have to take. The other 3, take them as you need them. This is Augmentation, that's your antibiotic. And you do have to take that full prescription, okay? So make sure you finish that one. The rest of them, take them as you need them.
Okay.
All right.
Just
So,
gonna write that on here.
yep. I'm going to send you home with this scar gel. You're not going to begin to use it until about 2 weeks post-operatively, though. Okay. And I even write that on the box for you.
And I do have one more question before I get as far as like you said, like the scanning and checking up my breast and everything, like the things I have to get done before the surgery. Do I?
Are you getting a mammogram done? Does he want you to get a mammogram?
He didn't say anything, but if you would recommend it, then I do want to, because I do want to get.
You don't need a
sure.
mammogram. How
Okay.
old are you?
I just turned 25 in April.
Yeah, you're not. They don't even recommend that you have one until you hit
Okay.
40.
Okay.
So if you were close to 40, if you were
Mhm.
between 35 and 40, he'd have you do a baseline.
Okay.
But he's not worried about it now, and you have no health history, I'm assuming, of breast cancer or any problems with your breast.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay.
So then you do
What
not
other
have
checks
to
do they
that.
do?
It would be a mammogram.
That was the only thing. That one thing that they would check for. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's a baseline mammogram, and it goes over mammograms. Of course, we do recommend you keep doing self-checks every month,
Mhm.
and if you feel any calcium deposits or anything going on in there, then you want to go to your OBGYN.
Okay.
And then they will recommend if you
Okay,
need to
gotcha.
go to get a mammogram or any kind of screening done. If you have any crusting along the incision line, a little weeping while it's healing, just use cold compress and dab, dab, dab. Just keep in mind you have sutures under there.
Okay.
Okay?
What is sutures?
Sutures, stitches.
Okay,
So
gotcha.
where he closes it. You are going to be a little numb in that area, and itching can set up a little bit when it's healing.
Mhm.
Same thing, cold compresses. You can use moisturizers and things like that. Just make sure if you still got sutures in or any spots are still open, you're not putting anything in that incision site.
Okay. Is aloe vera okay to put on it?
Not directly into it until it's completely healed over.
Okay.
Okay.
So
Resins of
I'm
the
sorry.
scar.
How would I put the moisture? What's a good way to put the skin moisturizer on there without it?
Only
going on
wait
inside?
and talk to Dr. Brothers
Mhm.
before you do anything while the sutures are still
Okay.
in. And then he'll instruct you.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and get your post-op appointment. You are on the 24th. He's going to want to see you that following Friday, the 2nd. So I can get you in that day at 3 o'clock. Will that work for you?
Yeah, that should, because
Okay.
I'm taking 2 weeks. 2 weeks off is the max. Is enough time after the rest. Okay.
Yeah, you should be fine.
You said July 2nd.
At 3 o'clock.
Okay. And I'm also I come on my period every 24th, so I'm more than likely to be on my period that day.
That's
Would
fine.
that be losing too much blood or anything?
No.
Okay.
Not going to affect anything at all.
Okay.
Hematoma, inflammation, and infection. We have low instance of these. But if you have any bruising that looks like it's starting to bulge or it's growing deeper, you want to give him a call and get your initials right there.
Sorry. And that would just be calling you or
You'll call Dr. Brothers. He'll give you your number, his number, before you leave the surgery center.
Gotcha.
Pay attention to your post-surgical instructions. Remember, you're not reaching way up over your head. You're not lifting anything over a couple of pounds for those couple of weeks when you're trying to get everything to settle into place. We talked about smoking. So you don't want to have any problems with your healing being delayed or the wound separating. So make sure you stop with the smoking. If you have any sensitivity to the dressing or tape, let him know so he can take it off. Injury to the deeper structure, he is not removing any breast tissue, and he is not going beyond that breast area. If you have a need for a revision at all in the future or later on down the line, or you decide you want to go bigger or you want to take them out, you would come back and see Dr. Brothers, and you guys would make that plan together. Okay, now we're getting into the specifics of your surgery. So you're doing a subpectoral augmentation. So we're going under the muscle with this breast enlargement. We talked about capsular contracture. Make sure that you look over your warranty information, so that way if you decide you want to upgrade the warranty for capsular contracture, you only have 45 days after surgery to do it. Okay?
Do you know how much it is?
It's $300.
Okay, and what would the warranty cover that if something were to happen? What would it cover?
You get an innate set of warranties. I'm gonna give you that educational booklet. Did I give you this before?
I think you did, but I actually need another one.
Okay.
Because I
So
lost it.
you, if it ruptures, if it splits, if you're having any issues in that way, if there's any malfunction of the implant, which is super rare, they will cover it. If it's a capsular contracture, which means something that happens within the body, it's an over-scarification of the capsule. About 3% of patients that have breast implants will get an over-scarification.
Okay.
And that's what's called a capsular contracture.
And how do you
That's
know
what
if
the
that's happening?
upgraded warranty will cover.
Okay.
Because you have to go into the OR, and it will cover up to $3,500 of OR and anesthesia and surgeon fees.
Okay.
Without it, those are out-of-pocket fees if you develop a capsular contracture. Okay.
Gotcha.
We talked about hematoma and infection. We talked about being numb. We're not worried that you're going to have any exposure or extrusion of the implant, or he'd be recommending some silicone sheeting to reinforce the area.
What
You're
is
young.
hematoma? I'm sorry.
Hematoma is an old collection of blood from the surgery, and what will happen is that old collection of blood, it's not like a hemorrhage where you're bleeding. It's just a collection of blood that will start to bulge. It looks like a bruise, and it starts to bulge, or it'll spread and look like it's getting deeper. That's what a hematoma is. Okay. Wrinkling is a saline thing. You don't have to worry about that with the silicone gel implants. They don't
Gotcha.
have wrinkling.
Okay.
Okay. He's going to get you symmetrical. So he lays you down. He will mark you before surgery. He'll lay you down. He sets you up, lays down, continues to do measurements as the surgery is going on to make sure that everything is symmetrical.
Okay.
We're doing subpectoral placement, which means we're going under the muscle.
Okay.
Deflation, that's another saline thing. Your implants don't deflate.
Okay.
Again, we talked about the loss of skin or nipple or breast tissue. Stopping that smoking. Make sure that you're doing everything that you can, avoiding those medications, stopping smoking, and just taking care of your health while you're going through the process. Interference with breastfeeding. There is a possibility sometimes that those implants, when they're put in, will put some pressure or stress on the milk ducts. So read through that, because sometimes that can be an issue.
Okay.
Make sure that you're doing self-checks for the breast cancer, and like I said, feeling around each month for calcium deposits, but you're not ready for mammograms yet unless your OBGYN recommends you have them.
What does a calcium deposit usually feel like as far as texture?
Like a little knot, like
Okay.
a knot, okay? Interference with mammograms. So when you go in, if you still have the same set of implants in or another set, if you've upgraded or done something else later on down the line, they will do 2 sets of films when you go get a mammogram instead of 1 when you have breast implants. We're not worried you're going to have a loss of cleavage, or he would have told you.
And 2 sets of film will be one for me, one for the doctor?
2 sets of films means they will take one set with the implant and breast tissue like they normally would, even if you didn't have implants. Then when you do the second screening, they take the breast implant, displace it from the breast tissue, and take a second set of films. So you get 2 sets
So
of
they
films.
squeeze it?
It squeezes, yes, girl.
okay.
It hurts.
So why do they have to do that?
So that they can see, they have a better image,
Image,
because
okay.
the implant can be blocking some of the breast tissue that needs to
Gotcha.
see.
And that would be done
Get your signature.
regardless? Or is that
If you have an implant, that's going to happen.
So would that be during my post-op or?
No. This is later on down the line when you get closer to 40.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like I said, you don't have to have a mammogram done unless there's some issue that your OBGYN suspects that you need one. This is your actual consent. So we're doing a bilateral silicone subpectoral augmentation mammoplasty. So we are doing under the muscle breast augmentation on both sides. You get your initials right there if that's correct.
crying little.
Maybe we'll be okay. I know that you're coming back home. Know that you're coming back home. Know that you're coming back home in the morning. I know that you're coming back home. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. She's a Mona Lisa. Everyone's lining up to see her. There must be something about her features. No. Till I go numb. Dancing till my legs go numb. Till I go numb. Baby, it's 4:30 and my whole world is I'm all up in the clouds when it's pouring rain. Ain't never coming down unless you call my name. Yeah, we should take it slow, just like day by day. Like day by day. Fuck. Down, yeah. I've been feeling so down, yeah. Can you tell me why? Can you tell me why?